say out loud, Lord Jesus, I believe you are the Son of God. You rose from the dead. Cleanse me with your blood, and I am born again.
Pastor Benny Hinn is urgently preaching the gospel to the lost because the world's only hope is salvation through God's only Son, Jesus Christ.
The gift of God is life eternal.
This is your day to join Benny Hinn in proclaiming Jesus as Savior and Healer.
I am fascinated, and I mean fascinated, by Dr. Wallach. You know, I've had many guests on This Is Your Day. I've shown you miracles and healings from around the world. In fact, I'll be showing you some next week. Don't miss next week. Be showing you what God did in Israel. The power of God hit on the Sea of Galilee, people getting healed. And I'm going to believe God with you that God's going to heal you. I'm telling you, when you watch next week's programs, and I'll be praying for you at the end of those programs, just believe God to heal you. Thanks also for being my partner. Thanks for being my wonderful, sweet friend. I really love you. Suzanne and I absolutely love you. Dr. Wallach, like I was just saying, I've had many guests, but I've never had one like him. And I'm really fascinated by what you've accomplished so much for God's people. Like millions of people, literally millions, have been helped by you. Not thousands,
No,
millions.
And it's a great honor. And of course, I figured this out when I was 9, Pastor Benny. And I realized that, and even when I was 9, that a 9-year-old kid is not going to figure this out by himself. So I knew that I had a divine appointment when I was 9.
That God really called you to help people. Okay, now we're talking about how to reverse disease. I've had Dr. Braverman here. I've had Dr. Don Colbert, Gary Gordon, on and on and on. And, you know, I think all of you doctors that deal in nutrition are really a gift to all of us.
Absolutely. I know these men. They're great men.
Yeah. You know, I've been watching some amazing programs. One of them called Forks Over Knives. You really need to see it. Forks, like a fork over knives. And one called Food Matters. These are doctors, top doctors, that have studied nutrition and what is going on today in America. How many people are getting killed, dying literally from prescription drugs, from conventional medicine. They're dying unnecessarily from just taking all these drugs.
1.5 million a year are killed just from decimal point errors in fulfilling prescriptions. 1.5 million are killed and permanently injured in America alone.
Now you use the word killed,
yes,
but you
like dead.
But but they're dying. Nobody's killing them, but they're just
the drugs. These are people who may have like migraine headaches, and the doctor writes the prescription wrong, or the pharmacist fulfills it wrong, or they have a child that has strep throat, and he's supposed to get a prescription penicillin, and the pharmacist is a little busy, and he puts in chemotherapy for a 300-pound man for a strep throat for a 3-year-old kid and kills a kid. This happens.
I mean, I heard on one of those DVDs, like Food Matters, they said that something like 100 and something thousand people a year die from side effects.
Oh, yeah, the side effects, are nothing compared to the mistakes.
Wow.
Mistakes are much more dangerous than even the side effects.
You've helped Creflo Dollar speaks well of you because you helped his daughter.
11-year-old daughter, and then he also uses our products because he gives 2
Tell me about his daughter. She was given up by.
Yeah, the medical doctors told
happened?
him that she was probably not going to make it. She was one of these kids who didn't respond to medical treatment for asthma. And Andrew Young from the Civil Rights Movement, he was actually scheduled to have both his knees replaced. I rebuilt his knees. He canceled his.
Andrew Young, the guy from Atlanta, who used to be with Jimmy Carter.
Yes, he was the ambassador to the UN for Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was Martin Luther King Jr.'s general to keep the buses full during the protest.
Right.
And he was the mayor of Atlanta. Very, very.
I remember him.
Yep, very, very important man. And he was.
You helped him with his.
He was scheduled to have both his knees replaced. And I rebuilt his, and he canceled his surgeries. I said, I can do this in 90 days. Okay, doc, I'll give you 90 days. So quicker, it was like 60 days, I was able to rebuild his knees.
How, doc?
With the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids.
Now, slow down, and because I had him do this yesterday at the end of the program. Okay, give me that list again that helped Andrew Young and Creflo's daughter and him and
Yes.
millions of people like them. One more time, 90
Essential nutrients.
nutrients that we all need.
Yes.
90 essential nutrients.
Yes, sir, you got it.
And we need what else?
Well, in some cases, you need a little extra of some. For instance, with diabetes, you need some extra of some of those. And I can take a type 2 diabetic who is very, very brittle. Their A1C hemoglobin is out of control. Their blood sugar is out of control, even with injectable insulin. Anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, they're an ex-diabetic. We can make California a diabetes-free state in 90 days if everybody would do the same program.
Really? Okay. Well, run that list again by me. Okay. 90
Essential nutrients.
Okay.
60 minerals.
60 minerals.
60.
60.
16 vitamins.
16 vitamins.
12 amino acids.
12. Okay.
And 3 essential fatty acids.
With those 5 groups, you can fix anything. Is that it?
Yes, sir. But if you want to make it go faster, you have to put more of what we call the secret sauce for each disease. Okay, for instance, everybody needs, just like everybody needs oxygen, everybody needs water, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential minerals.
Why doesn't the medical profession agree with you? They think, forgive me, but they think many of you are quacks, you know?
This is true.
Why?
Okay,
Is it because of
insurance.
money?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's insurance. For instance, if they were to cure you, see, there's no laws requiring them to cure you when there's a cure available.
Well, there's no money in health. Okay, fine. We know that.
Yes, yes.
So it's all about moolah.
Yes, sir.
Making money. So they don't care about people's health.
Well,
I mean, you know, I shouldn't really say that. Okay.
when they go to medical school, they might start out being altruistic when they start into medical school. But by the time they graduate, they have been changed. Okay? The pharmaceutical industry gives them things. They start giving them things, and they give them books and pay for trips and give them their first stethoscope and give them their first
So a
ophthalmoscope.
pill for every ill doesn't work?
No. For instance, a good example, my favorite example, is rheumatoid arthritis.
Let's talk about arthritis.
Rheumatoid arthritis is an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And mycoplasma is primarily a respiratory drug, but it gets in your bloodstream and sets up housekeeping in your joints and causes rheumatoid arthritis. You can kill it with a antibiotic in 2 weeks called minocycline. Just like you can kill the syphilis bacteria in 2 weeks with penicillin, you can kill strep throat bacteria with penicillin.
Listen, he told us some powerful things yesterday about reversing cancer. You really need to watch that program. And heart disease. I mean, this man is really top notch. He knows what he's talking about.
You're too kind.
No, I mean, it's true because I've seen it happen too in my own life, and I've seen it happen in people's lives. Okay, so you can reverse arthritis.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. But the physician will only make $3 in office calls if he cures it. But if he treats you for rheumatoid arthritis with gold shots and methotrexate and joint replacements over 25 years, he makes $750,000. So he has a choice. Does he make $750,000 or does he make $300,000?
So extend the disease so you can make more money. How
Yes,
sad. But you can fix it in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
How?
Okay, well, I would give people 2 choices. They can have either the minocycline, which is a member of the tetracycline family antibiotic. I can kill the bug. Or I can give them a set of herbs, which will also support the immune system, and 2 of the 8 herbs would have antimicrobial properties and kill the bug. This is going to take 60, 90 days to rebuild the damage using what we call the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It has the 90 essential nutrients and extra of the secret sauce, which actually rebuilds the cartilage.
You know, people said, why are you promoting all these nutritionists? If people get healthy, then you're out of the ministry. You're wrong, because I am preaching the gospel. My first calling is get people saved. I'll always have something to do. But you know why I'm doing this? Because I am so tired of seeing God's people sick. I'm serious with you. I have seen more sickness. I'm 60 years old, okay? I've seen more sick people, I think, than most people alive. As I travel the world, I see sickness everywhere. And Doc, it's time we talk about health, not just healing.
Yes.
And that's why you're here.
Yes, and of course, prevention is always the best. Just like you put oil in your car to prevent the engine from burning up, you take the 90 essential nutrients before you get sick, then you don't get sick. And this is the way the good Lord meant it to be, and this is why he put Adam in the Garden of Eden. And of course, all this ended.
You mentioned that with the garden,
Yesterday, yes.
because of the 4 rivers
Yes.
and all the minerals that were in that garden.
Yeah, the minerals come with the silt in the river during the flood time, rebuild the minerals in the soil. And the Tigris, the Euphrates, the Pishon and Dishon rivers. And this was the first MapQuest, because it gives you exactly where the Garden of Eden is. Those 4 rivers are still there today. The Garden of Eden is still there today, east of Eden. And
So what we need is minerals in
Yes,
our
sir.
body.
and you don't get it from the food anymore, and here's why. We dammed up all the rivers, and so the soil doesn't flood anymore, and reestablished the minerals of the soil. That doesn't happen anymore. We're killing the ocean because we've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. The food supply was the minerals going out into the ocean to grow the plants and the algae which fed the fish.
Wow.
We're not overfishing the ocean. We've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. Then, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, everything changed. Our traditional source of minerals went away in a heartbeat. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882.
What happened?
Because prior to that, everybody used a wood stove. Okay, and what do we do with the wood ashes every morning? They went out in the garden. Wood ashes are not ashes. Wood ashes are really the minerals that are left when you burn the wood in the tree. You throw the plant minerals, AKA wood ashes, out into the garden, and then the corn and the tomatoes and the sweet potatoes and onions and peas and beans and squash and okra, whatever you're growing out there, sucks up all these minerals. You ate your food. You got your mineral supplements by putting the plant minerals, AKA wood ashes, from your wood stove and fire.